Allocations are very important in cost accounting, and that's why I will show you some examples of how we can create these allocations. So I will use a search function to search for cost allocations, and here we can now start creating allocations. So I'll create a new one. I will enter an ID, and then, and this is very important, the level. Now, the level contains a number between 1 and 99, or from 1 to 99, and it depends the sequence in which allocations are posted. So first, allocations of level 1 will be posted, then level 2, then level 3, and so on. So this is something that you can then use to first post the more general allocations and then the more specific ones. So first, for example, administration that will allocate expenses to, for example, the sales department, and only then the sales department will allocate to, for example, cost objects. So that's the way that you can use it. All right, so the level then valid from, so this is an allocation I would like to use this fiscal year. So I will enter the 1st of January and the 31st of December. Then the variant field, to be honest, is not that important. That's something that you can use to allocate one specific allocation, but that's explained in one of the following units. And then the cost type range. Now, if you don't enter a cost type range, everything will be allocated from the cost center or cost object that you choose in the following fields. And so, for example, I would like to create an allocation where administration will allocate its expenses to other departments. Yeah? And I would like to allocate everything that is posted on the administration department. Then I will leave the cost type range field blank. Suppose that you only want to allocate specific cost types, like for example, building related expenses, then you could enter a filter on cost type range. Okay, but I will leave this field blank. Next, I will enter my cost center allocation, and then we also have to enter the credit to cost type. This is because the allocation is like a posting, so a journal posting, where we have a debit and a credit, and where we also need accounts. So in this case, cost types, and this is the account that I've created manually in one of the previous demonstrations. All right, so this is where we will allocate from. Now we have to enter where to allocate to. So again, I will start with entering the same cost type. But then, very important, the target cost centers. So here in this case, you can see the different cost centers that I can allocate to. And so, for example, I would like to allocate part of the administration expenses to the production department. So again, also here, the rule applies only a cost center or a cost object. So I will leave the cost object field blank. Then you can specify what to allocate. So do you want to allocate actual costs, or a percent per share, or a fixed amount per share? You can use amount per share, for example, to allocate a fixed amount of, let's say, building expenses per square meter that each department is using. So in this case, I will stick to all costs. Next, I have to enter the share field. So the allocation in most of the cases is a percentage allocation, but the percentage is calculated based on the share that you enter. So and this means that for each allocation, you can give your own definition to the share field. Like I just said, the building department might want to use the share field as the number of square meters that other departments are using, while the human resources department maybe wants to use the share field based on the number of employees that work in each cost center. So in this case, I will just enter anything, so it's just like a percentage. Then you can enter the base. So here I'm creating a static allocation. In the next unit, we will have a look at how to create dynamic allocations. So this is my first line, and I will do the same for the other lines, but then of course for the other departments. So there you go. So and as you can see, by entering the share for each line, the system will automatically calculate the percentage. So 32% of the administration expenses will be assigned or will be posted to the production cost center, 28 to sales, and 39 to warehouse.